So fair warning, there are spoilers in this review. Control is the only single player game that I've beat this year, and for those who don't know, I love single player games. I've tried playing a lot of single player games this year, Rage 2, Sekiro, the list goes on, but none of them really grasp the amount of action that Control puts to the table. Control's Remedy Studios' third big title. They had Alan Wake, Quantum Break, which is really good also, and then now Control. Control's game where you play as Jesse Faden, a not so emotional, badass character though. What happened was when you were kids, there was an event that happened in your hometown that took the entire town away, and the Federal Bureau of Control showed up and took your brother, and you've been looking for him ever since. You pretty much start at the Federal Bureau of Control, just a normal building off the street in New York. After you become the director, you figure out that there's an enemy that's inside the bureau called the Hiss, Hiss, the Hiss. And they're pretty much infecting people in the laws of physics and everything, and you're trying to figure out how they got in and why there's a lockdown. Control has a great blend of action gameplay with phenomenal storytelling. The action is just by itself 10 out of 10. If you came here for the action review, it's 10 out of 10. It has nothing but great action. It's phenomenal. I love the action of this game. But the storytelling is so interesting that I actually caught myself whenever I'd walk by like a little recorder or something, I would listen to it and actually be like, oh my god, that's so interesting. So first, to get into this review, I'm going to say the top 3 things that I love about Control and 3 things that I wish they did different. And by the way, these are in no particular order. Okay, number 1, particle physics. This game is insane for the particle physics. You can take a shield, you make a shield with one of your abilities, and it actually draws the pieces of the ground up. You're next to a cone, the cone's in the shield now. It's fucking great. You fucking dash through some papers, the papers fly up. You pull a piece off of a wall, the fucking wall comes off. It's phenomenal. It's really immersive. It makes you feel like you're really there, and I really love the particle physics. Like those are one of my favorite things that they added. They did it really really good. They really make your psychic powers like. Number 2, the story. So I tried to actually do a speed run, but I kept getting distracted by some of the side quests. I just wanted all the abilities, and I wanted to learn more about the lore, and the story was so interesting that I was always like, oh my god. Like there was times where I was literally like speechless. I was blown away about how beautiful and how crazy this world is. Everything's so immersive. The story, the theme they went for, everything is just so good. It melts together so well with like live action scenes. That's perfect. It's such an intriguing story. And for the last thing I love about Control the most is the gameplay. Yes, of course. Gameplay. This is the best gameplay I have ever played this year. The last great game I played this good was God of War, which is a perfect game, 10 out of 10 by the way. That game is phenomenal. But this game brings back those type of mechanics, like how great the axe mechanic is in God of War is how good the telekinesis feels. The auto locking, the leveling it up for more abilities. You can fucking, when the people are low on health, you can pull them and kill them and throw them at their friends. There's people that explode. You can catch rockets midair and throw it back. Catch grenades midair, throw it back. You can fucking dash out of the air to dodge someone's telekinesis attack. So fucking fun. You can throw fucking desk, office, printers, fucking staplers at people, lamps. You can throw a cone. You can throw a fucking energy generator. The telekinesis is phenomenal. It makes you feel like a complete and total badass. And not to mention, you can fucking fly. Yes, not really fly, levitate, but it changes the way the whole fucking game is played. It's great. You can actually levitate above the battlefield, pull the shield up in the air. You look like Jesus. And then you fucking throw telekinesis. You can pull out the strap. Yes, there are guns, but I'll get into that in a sec. You pull out the fucking telekinesis and just... It's fucking great. The way the guns work is there's one gun that has different forms. There's like a sniper mode, like a fucking shotgun mode. There's a pistol. There's like a little mini Uzi. And then there's the one that shoots like black hole fucking grenades or black hole rockets. But the fucking cool part about that is you can charge it up and shoot it. And you can charge it up to shoot 3 like rockets. If you fucking shoot 3 of them, you can actually catch one of them with your telekinesis and then fucking throw it at someone. It's the gameplay, 10 out of 10. If you came here for great gameplay and intriguing storytelling, this is the game for you. But without further ado, let's get into the 3 things that I wish Control would have changed. So number 1 is the character design. Some of the characters just feel bland and lifeless. It's like the janitor, he's kind of just the fucking janitor. The main character, she's kind of just Jessie, and then the other characters are kind of just, I don't know, they went more into the story than they did for the character development. It really doesn't matter that well, but it just kind of sucks when the story is so good, but some of the characters are just, eh. I do like Dr. Darling. He's a really interesting character. He's always talking about science stuff. He's always talking about interesting things, so that's why he's interesting. But some of the other characters just really lack in design, and you can really tell that they focused more on other things, which is still good, don't get me wrong, but just the character design itself is just not there. They also have frame rate stutters really, really bad on Xbox. Every time you'd unpause the menu, literally like every time, you'd fucking have frame rate issues. But not during fights, and that's what's important. But it was just like every time you pause the menu to upgrade, you're just like, cool, cool, cool. And then you get the menu, it's like, and you're like, fuck me, man. Number 2, enemy variety. So at first you're playing, you're like, okay, cool, foot soldiers. And then you're like, okay, foot soldiers with shields. Then you're like, all right, cool, now flying foot soldiers that also have telekinesis. And then, okay, little exploding things. And you're like, all right, it's kind of a lot. And after you're playing it for a while, I played for maybe 25 to 30 hours. After maybe about 15, I was like, all right, out of all the enemies that you could do with this game, it's just foot soldiers, you know? After a while, it just gets kind of boring, just beating the shit out of, like, Frieza Henchman number 1 and Frieza Henchman number 2. But don't get me wrong, the action is still phenomenal, but it's just like, you know, kind of wish they had some type of, like, interesting ass, like, alien characters. I mean, there's a few interesting ones, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I wish they did more. I wish there was more, that's all. The last thing that I do not like about Control is the map. The map is terrible. It looks like a 2D version of the Metroid Prime map, but not nearly as good. Sometimes it wouldn't load on me and I couldn't see things. It was confusing as hell. It just shows like gray and black as like different levels. And it's like, there was one point where I was stuck because I had to walk through this fucking prison security check, but the gate was closed. And I kept looking at YouTube videos because I was like, bro, I can't, it's locked on my screen. Everyone was just walking through it like it was open. And I was like, bro, what the hell? And then like after like an hour, there was like, I fucking walked around and I figured there was a switch. And I was like, well, that's not fucking helpful at all. There is a little stupid quest marker sometimes in the form of like Polaris, which is the voice in your head. But it's not really that helpful. I just think they could have done a lot better with the map overall. And those are the two things I really wish that Control changed. Overall, though, I think that it's a great game, phenomenal gameplay, great storytelling. The things I maxed out were launch and levitation and energy, because that was it. And I was a god. I was a god. It's basically a superhero game. Overall, I know I'm really late on this review, but if you're ever thinking about picking up Control, if you love single-player games, or not even if you love single-player games, if you like great storytelling with the best action, I definitely recommend Control. And for the rating of Control, 9 out of 10. I just really wish that it launched with less bugs and more perfection, because I mean, God of War when it launched honestly was perfect, and that game set the standard so high for single player games that it's unreal. Like, it was literally perfect when it dropped. It didn't need an update for anything. I'd never had a single issue with God of War, and I don't know, that kind of has my standards really high for single player games. That's why Control gets a 9 out of 10. That's gonna be it for the review. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, let me know if you like this video. I'll try to do more reviews of games that I'm playing. This one took me a long time to play, and I also had to cut out a lot of footage and stuff. It's a lot to do review. You gotta record like all your 30 hours of gameplay, then compile it into like 10 minutes for a review. There's a lot more I want to do on this game, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I'll definitely respond to every comment. Don't hesitate to message me on Instagram or any of my social medias. Alright guys, peace. For bonus, I'm going to add this one cool scene in the very end. It's just this cool ass maze level you do. It's super, everything you're about to see is like unedited. It's just super cool. It's awesome. You'll see.